Hello people of the web and YouTube, Dtpk here, and welcome to Hack Time. Anyway guys, in today's video of Hack Time, I'm actually going to be teaching you bros how to pull Windows passwords from memory through FTP. Well, we're more or less going to be downloading ProcDump from our FTP server onto the victim's machine, then executing a ton of commands to get the hashes for the Windows passwords onto our FTP server, which in my case is a computer in my closet. So I'm doing this all on the same network right now. I'm not going over the net, you know. So if you're gonna do this online over the net, you know, through the airwaves and things, you want to encrypt your network first before you do that, because if somebody grabs that file midstream as you're sending it to your server, then guess what? They got the Windows password for that machine too, and you don't want that. But yeah, anyway guys, today you can do this, like this tutorial, through just VBS and batch files, but I'm just gonna be taking a look at the ducky script that I made for the USB rubber ducky, which I told you about in my last video, which is a keystroke injector. And well, yeah, anyway guys, this script will allow you to get the Windows passwords for any computer you plug this into in under 10 seconds. But if you want to, you can make it 15 seconds, 5 seconds longer, and actually clean up your history and make it look like nothing ever ran and delete all the files after they're made. But if you want it for like the quick and dirty 10 seconds, you just want to use this part of the code, which I will have in the description down below. But anyway guys, let's take a look at this code, shall we? First of all, it's the same way as it was before. We're gonna hit GUI R, type in our PowerShell, and put run as at the end to run it as administrator. And once that's ran, you want to give it 2 seconds or around 2.5 seconds just to open up the administrator prompt. That way you can actually click Alt Y without clicking too early or too late. At least in most cases. On some fast machines you can bring this down to a second, save even more time. But in my case, 2.5 seconds is just good enough, you know. But yeah, anyway guys, we're going to tell our command prompt to navigate to our user profile, which in our case is, I don't know if this will work. No, that ain't going to work. I'll just do it the faster way, which is just, if you open up a command prompt, type in start and put a period at the end, it will automatically take you to your user profile, and that's where we're going to be creating and or downloading all these files. Now, like I said, there's going to be 3 files that are made, but 1 that is downloaded, and that downloaded one we want to delete. So if you put this string in here, it deletes the ProcDump if it's already on, it deletes the ls.dump if it's already on, deletes the bin if it's already on, the invisible.vbs, the start.bat, and this basically allows you to run this attack over and over again. Let's say somebody resets their computer, changes the password the next day, plug this in, it's just going to delete the previous files you made, and you can basically run the attack again. Now, here comes the tricky part, actually connecting to your FTP server, in my case the computer in the closet, which I have opened up on TeamViewer right here. As you can see, there's no elist.dump file, but there will be shortly. And to do this, we basically open up command prompt and type in FTP and then our host address for FTP machine, which would be like a 192.blah number. And you want to set this up so it can go over the net, so port forward your FTP server. In my case, it's not port forwarded, so it's all on the same network like I said. But if you want to be a true hacker, port forward it, just go out in the field, plug this thing in, and get yourself some passwords, you know. Not that I'm encouraging you guys to steal people's passwords, okay? But yeah, anyway, what this does, it's going to basically sign you into your FTP, and then using the get command, it's basically going to get the procdump.exe file, which is on my home server, on my FTP server I mean, which is this file right here. Now you want to specify which file you want to get, because if you're on a 64-bit machine, you may just want to use the 64-bit version, but if you're on a 32-bit, you might just want to use the ProcDump 32-bit version. But none of these programs should be flagged by antivirus, so don't worry, because ProcDump is a Windows tool, so whoopee to that. And well, yeah, after we got our file, we're gonna tell the command prompt to exit out of the FTP machine, right? Just with the buy command or a quick command, disconnect command, any of those commands will disconnect you from the server, but I like the buy command just because it sounds silly, you know, and it's like one you use on Kali Linux a lot and things like that, I believe. But yeah, after that's done, we're basically going to tell command prompt to run the ProcDump file, which we download into this user folder here, and then we're going to tell it to run with the parameters of acceptula-ma, and then we're basically going to crash the ilasas.exe, which will then create a file called ilas.dump. But you don't have to call it this, you could call it anything. You call it nothing or something and then put like dot error or something. Anything works as long as you can translate it back into a DMP file. Is that what I said? Yeah, DMP file. And just to save time, I left it as a normal dump because not a lot of people know what an ilas.dump file is, you know, but if they do, then what be to them? There ain't much they can do. It's already, the attack's already done basically then, you know. But yeah. Anyway, guys, now here comes the fun part. After we ran the file, it's going to create that dump file, right? So we're going to need a way to upload that file secretly and in the background, invisibly, as the user's using their computer, so they don't see any of this is happening, because that 43 or 34-bit megabit file is going to take a while to go up to your FTP server, approximately like 58 seconds, 60 in my testing. That's how long it took. Now you could just set and put like a delay here for like, you know, the 60 seconds and tell it to exit itself out, but that's no fun. We want to just be in and out of there in 10 seconds, right? So what we do now is we basically using the copycon command like we did in the last video to type in a text field, but in our case we're going to be making it type in scripterror.bin, and we're going to input this into that file. So basically, just like the last video, if I were to do this command like copyconfish.text, and I type stuff into it, hit Control Z, it saves the file, and as you can see, that's basically what we're going to be doing, except instead of saving this as a text file, we're going to be saving it as a .bin, which doesn't need to be done, but I did it because not many people are going to open up a scripterror.bin if you happen to leave this file on, you know. And plus, not a lot of people would think text would be in it or anything. But yeah, anyway, throat. Once we make that bin file, that copycon command, we're going to type in our FTP info again, but in this time, instead of using the get command, we're using the put command, which is basically telling our FTP action to put the file into my taken stuff folder on my FTP server. So we're almost done, basically. And once it's done putting it up, we're going to use an exclamation mark to exit, basically, or you can just like delete this and use a quit action disconnect. You can use any of the commands up here like I did earlier, you know. But yeah, once it's done, we're basically Control Zing it and saving it. I don't know why there's an exit command here, so I'm sorry about that. Just pretend that part didn't exist. It wouldn't mess anything up anyway if it did. But yeah, anyway, once we're done doing that, we need to make a file that can read that info file for our FTP server and basically tell it to launch invisibly, right? So natively we can't just launch a bin file, so you have to make a batch file and tell it to navigate to your script.error.bin, in which case it's this file here. You can name it whatever you want. You could call it your mother's flapjacks or something, you know, something completely ridiculous that no one would dare to look at. And then you just telling it to open that file, and then we're telling it to save. Actually, we're telling it to make a batch file, put this in the batch file, and then save it. And basically, once that's all done, we're basically done, you know. We get to the next command where we get the good stuff started, basically. So right here, our start batch file invisibly. This is just basically the same script I did before for the ducky script, or the pod slurping code, I should say, because that's what the technical term for it. Basically, we're making the Windows shell run invisibly, and we're specifying what file specifically to run invisibly, and in this case, we're going to make this start.bat file that we made earlier run invisibly, in which case makes this file, this copycon script error.bin run invisibly, and from there on out, we're basically done. Like, once we get to the batch file invisibility part, we do not need any of this code down here. The only reason why this is here is just to clean up the file system a bit. Delete the files that were here earlier, you know, and just erase the run history. But then again, this is totally unnecessary, because once you're done doing this, not a lot of people are going to go Windows R be like, huh, why was PowerShell opened? Or they're not going to just go right into your user directory and be like, huh, why are these files here, you know? And even if they did, they wouldn't know what they are, you know, if they're not very tech savvy, or if they're just like, just don't have the patience to do it, like me probably. But yeah, like I said, this whole bit's unnecessary, but I'm gonna talk you through what this does too, just in case you want to include it in the inject.bin file that you put on the USB rubber ducky later. Basically, we're telling it to open PowerShell again, run it as an admin, navigate to the user directory, and then we're going to tell it to clear out the run dialog so it looks like PowerShell never ran. In this case, if you can see, PowerShell never ran on my computer, right? You'd be wrong. I actually tested this script out earlier to make sure it would work. And from there on out, we just tell it to delete the procdump.exe, the ilas.dump, script, error.bin, the invis.vbs, the start.bat, I mean. And then we tell it to exit out a command prompt. And now this whole bit here, it just takes about 3 to 5 seconds to run, so it's up to you if you want to have it in, take the whole 15 seconds to get this good and done. But yeah, anyway, there might be a bit of an error here, like in this part. I may change this before I put the code up. I might actually make that file invisible, because if you were to run this twice in a row, like consecutively, it won't work. You have to wait for somebody to either log off or restart their computer to close out of the hidden background like program before you can run it again. I may fix that part in the code a bit later, but it's not really important. And even if they did find it, you just change your FTP info, set up a whole nother address, and you know what? They can't connect to you. But yeah, basically guys, that's it for this code. So how about we run this damn thing? And first of all, I'm gonna plug my little rubber ducky into this cord I found because it's so cool. And it makes me look like a ninja in stealthness. Just slide it up my sleeve, be like, boof, bitch, guess what, you're owned. And here we go, it's running, and from here on out it should take only about 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, I'm probably counting a bit too fast. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what the hell just happened? Well, that sucks. I guess if I ran it earlier I might have fucked something up, I don't know. Invis.vbs, what did I change? I think it still worked, but I think something broke. My server's still up. Let's just try that again. That was weird. That was a fluke. I don't really know what all happened there, guys, but hopefully this time it does it. It's kind of bad if I messed up my own tutorial. I know this works though. Okay, so we're running that. Where are you messing up? Okay, we got into our FTP server. We're exiting out of it. We got our ProcDump file. That time it worked fine. That was weird. I don't know if I might have lost internet connection for a minute. It is storming really bad here. I am in Florida and the whole hurricane thing going on, you know, it's really terrible. And as you can see, you saw a ton of things happen there, and the second command prompt came up. Like I said, you can make it so that second command prompt don't pop up, but then you're gonna have like 4 or 5 files in here. But if you do that like cleanup thing, you'll only be left with 2 files, and you can like hide these through attrib commands. But yeah, we're basically done. As you can see, there's a 45 megabit file here, and if I go back in here, look at that, our ilas.dump file is there. It's at 1.14, 41.2, 45.7, and it should be done uploading. Just like that. Like, how long was that? That was like super quick, you know? That wasn't even a minute. Like, it took 10 seconds just to get the first part done, and just like another 3 or 4 just to hide everything, you know, clear out the run history and all that, and it's good. Like, we can just go onto another machine and do this again and again if we wanted to. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it, and I'm sorry about that. My camera had to cut and get charged up there, but it's all good now. It's all good, and well, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna run this again, but I want to show you one flaw that I have in my coding as of right now, but I will be fixing later. But I'll let you know that when I fix it down in the comments below. I'm not gonna be fixing it right away, because it's kind of, an unnecessary thing, I guess. Basically, since we ran that batch file invisibly and it uploaded to the FTP server, and we exit out of the FTP, but we cannot exit out of the command shell then. So basically, we have a command prompt here running in the background 24/7 with our old info in the file put up, and in order to run this attack again, you got to end all these command processes and just shut them all off like this. I mean, you could easily just restart the computer and do it too, and you should be good to go. It should just delete these automatically when you plug them in and everything. But yeah, that's basically it for this attack, and I'm gonna run it one more time on this machine, and then I'm gonna run it another time on my Surface Pro 3 just to show you that this works on another computer, completely like not plugged in through Ethernet or anything, you know. But yeah, as you can see, all them files are gone now. I closed out of the batch file, so this should work. It should. I don't know what happened the first time that caused it to fail, so I'm trying to figure that out now. That's why I'm running it again. It should be fine though. It ran every time perfectly for me, and I think what happened though was my internet just hicked up for a second, because it ran fine there. See, it made all the 4 files. It opened up another Windows command prompt to kind of delete those files like it's doing right now. It should just start going gone. Just like that, my ls.dump file is going right to my FTP server again, and it's gonna take around 60 to 58 seconds, like I said, depending on your internet connection. Keep in mind, this is internet based, so if your internet connection is not good, you may have to change the delay between the ProcDump setting where it downloads, because if your internet's not good, it might have a problem downloading 577 kilobytes, which I honestly couldn't see that happening. I mean, your internet would have to be terrible to mess that up, but yeah, if you have issues with that, just change the delays and you should be good. But as you can see, it's done running on there, so let's delete it, and then let's plug this into my Surface Pro 3 if I can find it. That was really professional. I know I should have kept it down here. Anyway, I'm actually gonna take away the whole keyboard and everything. I don't know if I ran it on here or not, so it may or may not go to there. It might or might not, like I said. But here we go. I'm plugging it in. It's 3, 2, 1. Sorry, I had the thing in my face. It's running PowerShell. You hear the bloop bloop bloop. It's opening up the command prompt. And here, I'll just do something a little bit weird. And it's connecting to my FTP. It's downloading the files, doing ProcDump. It's had an error on the ProcDump.bin. I did run this on my tablet earlier, so it didn't delete the file, but it should still work with any luck, I believe. I have it set up in such a way it should. Let's see. Nope. Okay, I guess I gotta completely reset this or sign out and sign it back in, so 1 second, we'll try that again. Okay, bros, I'm back. Sorry about that. I ran this test earlier on here because I was originally gonna test this script on this, not on my main PC, but I said, what the hell, you know? And well, here we go. I plugged in the duck. It's loading up PowerShell again. Now, it shouldn't mess up here. I gotta fix my code so it deletes that file forcefully if it's already existent, because that's the only file I have issues with deleting, is that bin file. But yeah, it's running fine now, obviously. It's opening up another PowerShell to clean up the history. But other than that, it's done. That took like 5 seconds on here compared to here. It took like 10. So it varies between machine and machine, I guess, but it does work, and that's like under 15 seconds I made that file, deleted the history and everything, you know. As you can see, there it is. It's slowly growing. 21, 22, and I believe this is going to go up to 30, considering this is, I don't know, it's 32-bit, I'm guessing. It's 34, 35, yeah, I think it's soon going to stop. 36-bit megabit file, I guess. Nope, still going. As you can see, you have to wait till it finishes before you can crack it with Mimikatz or any other hash-based cracking program, I believe. I believe anything works as long as it can crack hashes, but yeah, anyway, just pop this into Mimikatz and you're done, and I'll make a video on that in the future, don't worry, but for now, I'm pretty much all tired out on this tutorial, and I'm pretty sure I rambled on long enough, but yeah, just as a friendly, like, competition, if you believe you can beat this, this script, if you believe you can make something run twice as fast in under 10 seconds, hit me up, leave a video, and challenge me. I bet you I'll beat it, and if not, then, well, you win. You get all the good boy points and things, and, well, yeah, basically guys, that's pretty much it for this script, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please know all the download links and the script file will be in the description down below. Hopefully I'll fix up some things here and there, but other than that, this file should work fine, and if you run it once on a computer, just remember that user either has to sign off or restart in order to run the attack again on them. So yeah, anyway guys, that's basically it, and I'm gonna leave today's video here. Dtpk signing off. Peace. And then if I hit that, you can see it opens up my folder where my pictures are, contacts, desktop, doc. But yeah, as you can clearly see, just with like 4 or 3 little pumps of this will go for quite a while. And if you want to